So I grew up in Nampa. My dad is a professor here. He started here in '07. Really grew up on campus, was around it a lot. When it got close to time to decide about college, NNU was kind of at the top of the list. The spring of my senior year of high school, I thought that I was going to major in psychology and economics. Coming into my freshman year, about I think 2 months before school started, I was like, I think I want to do political science. I had been unsure about, to this day, I don't know whether I want to go to law school or not. But government and history has always really been a primary interest for me, and so political science was really natural in that regard. The interest in econ was still there. I ended up adding that beginning of my sophomore year. I went to a dual language elementary school, and so spoke Spanish and had some credits, and so that was super easy to add. I actually ended up studying abroad in Sevilla, Spain in fall of 2022, and so I added a Spanish minor. And then I also am minoring in philosophy. I took a philosophy class fall of my freshman year and fell in love with it. Having 4 topics of study, it has been extremely busy. I'm a little bit of a workaholic. That's in my genes a little bit. And it takes a lot of work, but it's really been worth it. It really satisfies a lot of, really itches for me. I love to learn. I love to be in the classroom. Grad school is somewhat of an inevitability for me. I ran for executive vice president and I won. Some way or another. And so this year I've been able to, I'm the chair of the Student Senate, that's what the Executive Vice President here does, be really involved with planning events and really just campus life in general, being a part of that executive committee of SGA, really buying into the student life aspect and investing in people's lives on an individual level and at a macro level across the university has been really beneficial. I have had 2 internships, and so I went and interned with Paylocity last summer, and that was a good experience. It's a great company. Didn't really end up being for me, but a lot of really valuable experience there as well. This semester, I'm interning with the city of Boise in the finance department. I met one of their recruiters at a career fair, I think it was in October, and ended up getting connected to that internship program, and I'm going to go work for the finance department after graduation with the city of Boise. Timeout is really one of my favorite things that we do on campus. Coming into my freshman year, that was something I was really excited for, to have a student-led space, student-led worship, and having students share their testimony every week. And being able to develop that kind of closeness, because NNU really isn't that big as far as students go. And so being able to develop that kind of closeness with your peers and having that opportunity with a venue like Timeout is really great. In visiting other schools, so I went to some big state schools, some prestigious schools that I had gotten into, and it didn't have the same feel as NNU did. Like, those states will have 40,000, 50,000 students. The student-to-faculty ratio is large. It's really large. And being able to have a relationship with professors was something that was really important to me. Another thing that separates NNU from other schools is requiring students to be on campus as much as possible. There's a lot of schools that I visited that had a lot of local students that just went home on the weekends, and that really scared me away from some of those institutions because what I was looking for was a deep, invested community that lived on campus, that was living together and going through this experience together. And I think that's something that drew me to NNU because of that community aspect, and something that's really lived up to expectations, is everyone living together, going through college together, and I've developed a lot of really valuable long-term friendships because of the life on campus is so deep and so involved. This is going to be a very stereotypical answer, but really the community is what I'm going to miss most. I've been able to develop some very deep, very meaningful friendships with a lot of different people, with different faculty members, with different staff members, and the natural situation that college in general brings, but especially NNU. Leaving NNU, I feel like the most valuable thing that I'm taking with me is I'm just a more well-rounded individual. Both in my personality and my faith, but also really in my education. As far as a legacy I hope to leave here, I've worked really hard to create a sort of environment where people want to invest in the next generation. Early in my career here, kids who are on SGA invested into me, and they got me interested in student government. When I was a freshman, I never would have imagined that I would have been interested in SGA. But because those individuals invested in me when I was a freshman, when I was a sophomore, that's really led me to have that desire to be on SGA this year and then pour into younger kids coming up as well, and then to really continue that cycle, because that's really what makes NNU such a great environment, is having students invest in students and leaders invest in leaders, and that's what makes NNU so cool.